Morrison in, we'll go ahead and clear out the music there for a little while. Why not? Thank you very much for the tailgate, O ye keeper of the Canadian Kraken. For those of you who do not understand the reference, keep letting in that you think that it's actually a week of microphones instead of a week of pipes, and see what the Canadian Kraken can do to you. But I warn you, Charlie said it wasn't good. All right, so by the way, we've got Cliff and Mike, and I'm just going to say Gnome Joe, but we could just call you Joe if that's what you'd prefer. And Patrick, this is Patrick. This is Patrick. I'm going to quit that, though. John Adams, and all right, Massimiliano Martinelli, howdy, sir. Ganjuana, how you doing today? Boris, howdy, sir. And Dusty Piper. Good Lord, y'all like to pack me up today. That's fine. I'm okay with this. Lots of y'all coming in. All right. So Joe will work. We will keep that as a statement for later. And all right, I need to move that direction. I set up a little bit slow today because I was involved in watching somebody else's tailgate for a tailgate. Hey, it was fun. Why not? And YP John, how you doing, sir? Oh, goodness. All right. So here's our opportunity. Howdy Jim, also known as a Desert Pine. Here is our opportunity. If you know somebody who should be in here who ain't really in here, let them know. Because I think we can hit the 30 mark. Mike said he's tired of waiting for me to get to 40, so he's going to drop that number down to 30. We could do that. All right, we might have to have me eat something that's super spicy or something and turn my head as red as this hat, but we could figure it out. Horatio, howdy, sir. Glad to see you there. By the way, Horatio did the pipe week challenge, and I'm going to tell you right now, anybody who hasn't seen that video, it's a great video for one, and two, you have to stay all the way to the very end, because Dancing Singing Dave was so funny that I was about to pee all over myself. I cannot tell you any more about it than that, but if you see it, you will understand. No, that is not a Bushwood country hat or country club hat. That is, of course, a Fuente. That is the Opus X symbol, because only Fuente is Fuente. And hey, it's Friday, so Fuente Friday, but I'm having a black market. Odie, how you doing, sir? Great to see you here. Oh, and if y'all saw what my hair looks like underneath the hat, now you know why I wear a hat. So, we had a couple of snafus the last couple of times that I've been streaming. Figured it out. Spent a lot of time today clearing out my phone because it had a mountain of cookies. All those crazy little screenshots that I save, and the various places that I go and visit, they all stuffed chunk loads of cookies into my inbox, and it was overloading the system. And I was saving each one of these videos just in case YouTube was going to sit there and cancel me for some strange reason. Well, come to find out, even the ones that after a month I had erased, they were still on the phone. I had to go through the trash file and clear that out too. This should take care of the problem. Now, I will like to remind you that I have 2 times not signed off, and it's been in a row, and it has been bugging the crap out of me. And yesterday I didn't even get around to doing a bowl call. Pipe Monkey Gary, howdy sir. Glad to have y'all in. Now, of course, with Boris and Pipe Monkey, this is definitely an international pipe and tobacco type show. If any of y'all have any cigar related questions that y'all might want to ask, I'm more than happy to field a lot of those questions. Am I the most knowledgeable person on the planet? No. I'm not going to say that. But I tend to know more about cigars than the average pipe smoker because I sold them, and I do really, really enjoy smoking them. So I stay informed on what's going on in the cigar world, and well, I depend a lot on the knowledge of people here in the YTPC for what's going on in the pipe world. I appreciate that. Y'all are very helpful to me. Now, for anybody who doesn't understand why cigars and pipes go together so well, it's a very similar process of, you don't have a bunch of chemicals all over your tobacco or any paper wrapping to keep it together, and it's more of a natural product. So oh, and the way you can differentiate flavors is very, very much the same. You did not like the Ichiban cigar at all. I am sorry, Steph. That is that's horrible. Too peppery and smoky. Understood. Though I do tend to like a peppery and smoky stick. Part of the reason why I like Periques and Latakia. In fact, one of my own personal blends is Dan Tobacco's Devil's Holiday, which is an aromatic. And I'm not suggesting that for that portion of it, but equal parts of Devil's Holiday, Perique, and Latakia. I thought it was just spot on blend for me. Just enough sweetness that it wasn't overpowering on the aromatic side. Just enough Perique that it really had that punch, and just enough Latakia that it drove the mother-in-law completely away from me. Best part of smoking cigars and pipes. Cliff, I am also not really crazy about Rocky Patels. Partagas, Lusitanias, and Toscano. Okay, I got you there. Gotcha. I think Clinton's Humidor, Humidor. Well, whatever. Howdy, Todd. Glad to see you in today. Clinton had a whole different theory on cigars. They were more of something to do while he wasn't playing with the harmonica, or was that harmonica? Or the saxophone, or running away from Hillary. Oh, wait, yeah, I'm not supposed to say that stuff like that. There might be people that like her in some way, shape, or form. For those people, read the description in my video and realize that if you got offended, you set out to be offended, and I stepped right off in the middle of it, and I guarantee I'm going to do it again if you stay around. The decade, 10 years. Yeah, decades are all right. The problem with Rocky Patel, and I'm not speaking of all Rocky Patels because they've actually made some great strides in the last 3 to 5 years. And it started with they hired a different blender. The master blender that they had wanted every one of the Rocky Patel sticks to taste exactly the same. The problem with that is if I can buy a $5 Rocky Patel and a $25 Rocky Patel, why would I want to buy the $25 Rocky Patel when it tastes exactly the same as the $5 Rocky Patel? Somebody finally got that through to Rocky, and he hired a different guy. But that was my major issue with Rocky Patel. If you had tried one, you've tried them all. But in the last couple of years, I'm going to tell you straight out, the number 6, the LB1, the age limited rare edition number 2, and that's where it started. And they've made great strides to correct that issue. So they're actually worth giving it another shot. But you might want to try back to one of those 3 that I mentioned. Well, that's horrible that there's really no bourbon to mention there, Odie. Howdy, Chad. Great to have you in today. Don't worry, I know you're not going to be able to stay for the whole show because, well, you'll have to set up your own tripod and all of that. It gets a little difficult when you're trying to still hang in for the guy in front of you. So anybody who feels like they need to go, remember, this is not required reading. This is not going to be on your final exams. There's no test involved here. And chances are, if you're testing positive and you're here, then you should probably go to the hospital, because the only other person I know that tested positive while being here was Chad, and he had COVID. And we don't want that to happen again, so yeah, we'll just keep it simple. Hell, 11 more and Mike's going to give away some swag. Did y'all catch that Mike has decided to lower the numbers on certain shows so that he can try and give away more swag, and he's now including a coffee mug? How? I can't win on my own show, so I'm going to have to be hoping that Chad can pack 40 into his show. Oh yeah, that's the other side. No silent participations. There is no participation trophy. If you don't participate, you cannot win the trophy. what is it? There's a hat. It's a Briar Blues hat. There is a Larry Blackett Rita Tamper. The Larry Blackett Tampers are awesome. Trust me, everybody wants one. There is a leather pipe rest. And there is a Briar Blues mug. Now, speaking from previous, almost always, Mike is going to send you a stack of styrofoam peanuts and likely a sticker, or a book of matches, or maybe even a tie tack / hat pin. It depends upon how you want to wear it. I will be wearing mine as a tie tack on my non-tacky ties. No, not and a Costello. If you want a Costello that bad, I would suggest going to www.briarblues.com and then signing up for everything there that you can sign up for. And I'm going to tell you, I mean sign up for everything, including the insiders. You want the best deal on a Costello, you better sign up for the insiders. You're not going to find one better, at least on this side of the pond. Unless you know somebody who doesn't know what they own and they're wanting to get rid of it. And there's some people like that out in the world. There's always people like that out in the world. Howdy, Sharon. How are you? And Paul, how are you, sir? Whew. A little scratchy nose. Hey, we're only needing 8 more people in, but we need them all to be chatting. Worth a shot. No, see, that's not true. It would be worth a exclamation point shot. You have to make sure that it's exclamation point shot. Otherwise, it doesn't count. And just like it didn't work on Mike's show, it doesn't work on this one either. Plus, I'm at the heat of the day, and there's no way I'm going to sit around drinking shot after shot in Houston heat. Be like 3 shots, and y'all see me leaning over here into that corner going, never mind, guys, I'm just going to sit here and drink. Did OBX? Yes, OBX. Howdy, sir. How are you, sir? By the way, Dave, have you met Horatio? Because Horatio put out a video recently, and I think you need to watch all the way to the end. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. Just it's all in fun, I'm pretty certain. So, being that I am not having a bowl today, we will go with a bowl call. New gong. Actually, old gong. New gong striker. Just say if you got hit with this thing, you'd probably go down. So, bowl call. Howdy, picking and piping. How are you doing today? Bowl call. What are you smoking? What are you smoking it in? Me, I'm smoking an Alec Bradley Black Market Robusto. I do this in place of a Friday Savinelli. Mostly because at this time of day, with it as hot as it is for the most part, I'm going to prefer a cigar. Who did I miss? That's who it is. Old Joe Krantz in a 804. Well, then it's not Friday yet. Actually, it is Friday. It is definitely Friday. For those of y'all who like to miss out on certain shows, good one to catch up on, just at least a little bit, would be Ghost Cobb. He does a Find 5 Friday, and this one was, it was, you know, it was appropriate. Smoking cold air in an air pipe. Way to go. Luxury twist in a Rossi Canadian. Yeah, I'm not going to do it as well as John does. And besides that, I don't want to go this Sunday. We don't need to have the white trash rally call to arms. Just saying. Monster trucks. Yay! Actually, they're really fun to watch. You ever get a chance to go to a monster truck rally, I suggest doing it. But make sure you wear hearing protection. They get pretty loud. Paul, go ahead. Hey, this is just like any other tailgate at any time. If you've got something you want to talk about or mention, throw it on up there. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Oh, that's horrible, Boris. Hopefully it doesn't take all your cash or spendable money. So yes, I understand, Steph. Definitely a little bit warm for smoking for the most part. Interesting situation. I normally do not have this cigar canoe this way, but it did. Nightcap and a bobolink churchwarden. Very nice. All right, so Paul is intending to do a YTPC calendar for 2022. He needs photos of all of us, as many of us as would like to be in it, I'm sure. But of course, he definitely wants all of the YTPC to be in this. So, Paul, where would you like those pictures sent? And yes, Jim, there's definitely the idea that Chad knows how to deal with a rash. He's got at least 2 at the home and has for at least 10 years now. So, in case anybody's thinking that I'm being mean to Chad with that statement. No, no, I am not. Okay, so y'all remember that's dark K Paul at gmail.com. That's two K's, not three, and not one. If you leave one of those K's out, well, it won't go to the right place. If you add an extra K, it's probably going to somebody that's white, but they are probably not somebody you want to talk to anyhow. Just letting you know. Oh, so back to what I was saying. When my son was preparing to go off to, well, let's say that high school, I told him, look, girls are out there. You're going to be tempted at least once or twice to have sex. I'm not saying don't do it. It's lots of fun. Have fun with it. But wear a condom. And he asked me, well, what do you do if the girl says, like, she's allergic to latex or something? And I looked him square in the eye and I said, well, you just tell her, I'm allergic to child support. Your rash will go away in 2 weeks. Mine will stick around for 18 plus years. So we doing this? Yeah. When he was 18, I didn't pretty much care to be called grandpa. I would have been 28 at the time. Now that he's closing in on 30, I'm really not too indifferent to being called grandpa. If it happens, it happens. Great. If not, well, that's okay too. That's for my son and his wife to decide. And I'd be good with it either way. Mr. Tolson, howdy, sir. How are you doing today? And yes, I did say that my son and his wife. Nope, I don't have a current picture here with him. But I do have a picture of toilet bowl beards. They call them circle beards. I still can't get over who in the hell is stupid enough to do this. Cool guy, yes, I do have a Fuente hat. In fact, I own 3 of them. Joe, yeah, there are some latex-free condoms on the market. But when you go into the drugstores around here, you either got to search for those for a while, long enough that it might ruin the mood, or you can just grab that box of regular latex condoms and go to town. Cliff, yeah, I would love to understand how I'm supposed to stop showing that. Every time I see it, I just have to share that misery with everybody else. Osio! Howdy, Steve. How are you doing today? I am I am hearing that you're still hurting, but hopefully that goes away pretty quickly. Also, howdy, Miss Kathy. Make sure to keep him in line. Hit him in the head with a frying pan if you have to. Cicadas. I can't do much with them, and so therefore that's what I can do. I can stare at them. Sometimes they quiet down, sometimes they don't. I do not believe that there is any such thing as a vegan condom, because it is still encased, or it is still encasing meat, and obviously a vegan won't put any meat in their body. I want to know how come veganism hasn't died off. I mean, it isn't putting meat inside your body how you reproduce, and therefore, doesn't that make it pretty difficult to reproduce if you won't do such things? No, I am not taking picture requests. And if I have to put a picture of a guy who's that pretty on my chat just so that I can get up to 30, then it's never happening. Yes, problem there, Paul. It's called honeymooner's salad. Lettuce alone. And that's how much of the meat's going into that salad. None. And if you're dealing with nuns, I would suggest the tobacco. 3 nuns. Which then brings me to the number 10. 10 Russians. Which is how many Russians it'll probably take to get rid of that vegan. Or you just set up the barbecue and go to work. Steph, Cliff's got a point. I am fairly certain that Cliff has better teeth. Oktoberfest 1974. That would have been a really good year except for one simple thing. I don't think they were going to let me drink back then. I was alive. Howdy, sir. I never seen you here before, but I do like the name. I am a fan of beer. Howdy, Odie. That's awesome. Reed Bender Bud. Howdy, sir. How are you today? And Mike says we're only needing 5 more to cross the 30-person threshold. This is an awesome day. 23 in, and I'm not catching on fire yet. No, I'm not going to change that either, but I mean, it's a thought. So for any latecomers, just out of fun curiosity, what are you smoking and what are you smoking it in? I do believe for a regular live stream, this is the record. Though I have to blame it all on the keeper of the Canadian Kraken. He tailgated for me today. I mean, I understand some of that was so that he could test some things out, giving it a good live feed test. And believe me, I agree with that principle entirely. There was a lot of things I could have been doing all along, but I didn't play with this system enough. And I was a little leery of doing it on a live feed. So I used it to make a couple of videos, and then I tried out some things, and then I said, hey, you know what, this kind of stuff works. I mean, that's how I came up with this. It worked. And then, just like magic, it goes away. Thank God. Wait, wait, wait. Wait, wait, wait. No, 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 no. I did not see Charlie in here. I'm not sure, but Charlie's probably still using a pail on the boat. And be careful about saying anything about it being a week of microphones. That can get you in trouble. And the guy who it'll get you in trouble with has long reaching tentacles. That's why I say the keeper of the Canadian Kraken. He somehow damn near sunk a boat from almost all the way around the planet. Got to remember, he had to send the Kraken through the Panama Canal or all the way around South America. I guess he could have sent it over the top around Alaska, all the way around Canada, and then back through that way. I guess if you don't have to surface and you're not afraid of the cold water, it'll be worthwhile to go that way. All right, Odie, you're taking your life in your own hands there, sir. You might never find another bottle of bourbon. But don't blame me. I'm just pointing it out. I hear you, Dave. I ain't scared either. I ain't got a boat. And unless there's another really, really bad hurricane, he can't get up this close. I hope. Ain't much that Cliff's scared of, but the Canadian Kraken he's scared of. Any of us that own a boat or enjoy life on the water probably are afraid. We are very afraid. Just remember, I didn't do this to you. Howdy, Kathy. How are you, ma'am? So nice to have you on board. Now, Miss Kathy, of course, y'all got to be nice to her because she is the godmother. Where's Phil and Martin when I need them? Could be down to one. Hey, if I comment on my own live stream, does that count? Oh yeah, Odie, just be very, very, very careful there. Like just smoke. Howdy, just smoke. How are you, sir? At least I'm going off of the presented picture. No, I am here to disavow any knowledge of anything related to microphone week. No, it is pipe week, and that's why I'm smoking a cigar. we're down to 1, and we're in the last 20 minutes. Somebody, go find somebody. It is really difficult for me to tell people exactly how to get in here any faster than what I already do. Guli Luvias, at least I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Howdy, Guli. Oh no, we got to the magic number. Oh, Yardism Chess. I guess that counts. That's a different account name altogether. Okay. I have picked this number back when Mike first mentioned how many people were going to have to be on several weeks ago. The number is 14. Yes, I said 14. Make sure I type that in. Send. 14. I don't know why I wanted the number 14. It has no specific meaning for me at all. A number that would have meaning would be 4, but 14 is not divisible by. Steph! Steph gets a hat and a pipe stand and a coffee mug. And a Rita tamper. Congratulations, Steph. I feel like I'm almost giving back to the community. Though really, I'm just helping Mike give back to the community. Now, Steph, should you be needing anybody to take over ownership of said coffee mug or hat? I'm not saying that I know anybody specifically, but I know of this guy in Houston who drinks lots of coffee and pretty much always wears a hat. But no, keep it for yourself or Skip. And believe me, I do not feel in any way like I should be receiving from this particular live stream. Because unlike some, I am never going to monetize. And I will shave the sides off from time to time. And I just hope that y'all will forgive me. Jose, howdy, sir. Ah, she just missed out. Steph just won the Briar Blues prize pack. We actually made it to 30 different people somehow here in the chat. But everybody who's here in another 15 minutes when we're all over on Chad's channel. Except for this guy named Yardism and this other guy named Yardism Chess. We can load up his channel. We can make this an expensive day for Mike. If it really becomes extremely expensive, I'm going to have to make sure that my name is not in the running. But that's Agreed, Kathy. Very, very much agreed. Chef, the Steph is definitely rocking it. Mike hopes that we all have plenty of people in our chats and our live streams. And Yardism might be a jerk, at least according to Yardism, but he's my kind of jerk. And that's why I'm going to go hang out with him here in a little bit. Just statement of fact. When I suddenly stop seeing a whole lot of people being able to actually talk to Chad, I will probably turn on the magic little pad over here and see if I can't find his channel. My allergies have been acting up, y'all. Ugh. And if it wasn't so warm out here, I wouldn't be drinking a Gatorade. I'd just be drinking a water. But I did find these at one of my local stores. And I want to tell you, this little product out of North Korea, which tastes like a snow cone from way back in the day when you were a kid, and you remember those snow cones. Yes, you remember those snow cones. It's exactly what that water tastes like. Well, cool guy, I do believe that Gatorade is a good pairing with cigars when you're outdoors and it's anywhere above 90 degrees. The key to remember with Gatorade, and look, this is just something that I picked up because my mom was a nurse and I went to a lot of extra little medical training and stuff like that. If you drink one of these, fill this back up with water and drink a water. Too many just straight Gatorades is not going to be good for you. And if you listen to Cliff, which I would suggest everybody listening to Cliff, those energy drinks, which are 95% sugar, are horrible for your teeth. He was telling me yesterday that he had a 21-year-old that needs to have every tooth in his head pulled and a full set of dentures. Well, you fill it with the other kind of water there, and I wouldn't suggest drinking that one, Cliff. But when you're in a deer stand, you just kind of have to do what you got to do. Iced tea is not a bad thing if you stay off of the sugar. It's when you dump 3/4 of a cup of sugar into a 16-ounce bottle just to make it sweet enough for you that it starts to get horrible for you. So I'm really looking forward to Steph doing a Yabo. But really what I'm looking forward to is to see if Steph will just hold on to the winnings until Skip shows up and then make Skip do the Yabo. Yes, aspartame is actually not healthy for you. It's also, according to a doctor that I've had to visit more than once, aspartame will increase the size and relative number of kidney stones. Let's just say If you've never had one, you can trust me on this. You don't want one. You don't want the first one. You don't want it to be your last one. You just don't want one. Dave, not my fault. If you love Coke Zero, hey, drink what you like. Just remember that sometimes the consequences are, well, they're worse. Now, I could really go for an ice cold Budweiser my own damn self, but trying to run a live stream in the heat, I instead of going for a nice adult beverage, I will abstain for a little bit. That's right, Chad. I drink Coke pie. I'm going to decline that, even though it's from Katy, Texas, and I know people in Katy, Texas. So it might actually be for me, but it's probably just my sister, and that's okay. Well, Steph, as dry and as hot as it is in El Paso, I'm gonna say, yeah, alcoholic drinks out there on the porch are they're dangerous because it'll hit you a bit harder. As one, it'll help dehydrate you, and two, the heat and the dry will dehydrate you, and then it just leaves a concentrated alcohol running through your bloodstream. Yeah. You get drunk real fast, but man, does that hangover suck. So, by the way, Chad should be pretty much pulling out of the chat here anytime. I'm pretty sure that he is making his way to setting up his whole system. Don't worry, I'm going to keep a blind eye over here on his channel so that I can pick that up wherever it goes, hopefully. So before we get out of here, let's remember there is Chad, Cainrod, Martin. That's just tonight. Live streams until whenever Martin ends. It's ridiculous the amount of entertainment you can be subjected to around here. Now, I'm going to, of course, mention the fact that this being Pipe Week, we have a special show coming on tomorrow that normally wouldn't be there, but is going to be there. That's going to be on Flat Cap Piper's channel. That is the YTPC Awards show. But don't forget, Steph is doing her normal show. And the virtual pipe club will be there. And don't forget, Sunday, there's shows every day of the week, it seems. Monday's still a little bit dry, so if anybody really wants to put something, if anybody really wants to put something out on a regularized basis, Monday would be an excellent day. Now for the kicker on that. If you're really wanting to do this, this is fun. It really is. It's a load of fun having y'all here. I love having y'all here. The only thing you actually have to do is let the Briar Report know. because he'll put it in his newsletter. And then it goes out to a couple of thousand people. And it allows us to know, hey, you're actually doing something. It's not that hard, really. Email editor@briarreport.com. There you go. You're good. Actually, I don't even think you need to put the .com on there. I think it's just editor@briarreport. You could get there from either one of his websites, which is briarreport.com and briarreport.org. If you can't find him there, you ain't looking. Howdy, Jabes. Sorry that you missed out on the drawing. But Steph won. I'm fairly certain she's going to love her Briar Blues swag bag, basically, is what it is. I mean, everybody's wanting the everybody's wanting a Briar Blues hat and a Briar Blues coffee mug. And anybody who's ever seen a Larry Blackett tamper, well, trust me, they want one. You're crazy to not want a Larry Blackett tamper. Is what it is. Oh, and the leather pipe stand, those are great. 90-ish% of all pipes do not stand up. So to have a pipe stand that you can slip into a back pocket and take with you just about anywhere, or if you happen to see Miss Kathy and you are really thinking of doing something nice, get one of her pipe rolls. It'll fit in a pipe roll real well. Oh, I know there's stuff I'm missing. Of course, let's go ahead and remind everybody, keep the Mott family in your prayers. Their little bit of hard times is kind of just starting, and well, they'll need what they need, and nobody's going to be able to tell me enough of what they need. But yeah, with the passing of LaDon Mott, it's been a little bit of a rough week. And we can all use a little bit of help from time to time. So, as per always, especially with Chad saying he's about to be on, first off, y'all take care of yourselves. And let's take care of each other. We do a damn good job here in the YTPC, and let's just continue with that. Can't stress that enough. It's just a hard thing going on right now. And let's also, as we always say, let's all remember, Chad's on right now, so long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I'll see you over on Chad's channel real soon. Y'all be careful. Have a good one.